much do we truly know about email marketing? Well, let's find out. Eileen Lonergan from Elegant Marketplace meets Marcin from Mailerlite. It's a 101 plus on email marketing. Learn and enjoy.
Hello, it's Eileen from Elegant Marketplace, and today I have Marcin from Mailerlite with me to do a deep dive, answer a bunch of questions for us, and give us a Mailerlite overview. So we can't really tell because right now the way it's cropped, we can't see your t-shirt that says, "I love my job." So give us a little scoop on Mailerlite. What's going on over there?
Well, we're a fun bunch, as you might have noticed if you're following us a bit. And we just came back from our workation in Morocco, so that was fun. It's always fun to do that.
And last year you had a workation in Bali?
Yeah, I missed that because I was in another country. I was in Tenerife, but yeah, I'm sorry I missed that one. That one it looked great.
What happens on a workation?
Well, it's actually a lot of work, even though we try to have a lot of fun. And even though as you see later, we have videos, we have pictures that a lot of the time that seem we're relaxing, we are also, but there's also a lot of work. We do presentations among each other. We also have different types of meetings in groups sometimes to see what we can do better. This is a time where all the people that work remotely can meet with the people who work in the office. So that's a really good thing, especially for me. I work remotely, and and it's something, it's a time where we can experience things together, also, right? So it's work and play.
How many of you are remote, and how many of you are in your office?
It changes from time to time. I would say it's from 30 to 50%. Yeah, because even the people that work, even there are some people who actually work in the same city where we have our office, but they don't go there because they work, for example, night shifts, right? So they're also treated as someone who works remotely in this case.
Got it. Okay, that's awesome. So I have been doing email integration with WordPress and using newsletters for a really long time, and Mailerlite has just come on my radar. So give us a little bit, and that doesn't mean that all of a sudden, it's become popular. It just means that I'm probably behind the times. Can you tell me how big you are, how many emails you send in a month, or how many users are on your platform?
Yeah, there's about 300,000 users. Of course, those are all the users. We have many free accounts, and I'm not going to go now into details, but there are users, of course, who use the account more or less. We send about 700 million emails a month.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
The monthly number.
Okay, that's great.
And yeah.
So you guys so for my audience, which is primarily the Divi theme users, just maybe 2 weeks ago, last week, it became announced that Mailerlite was now integrated into the Bloom plugin, which is the plugin that Elegant Themes has created to integrate with the Divi theme and the email platforms. So it's awesome that you're there, and so many people are really curious about Mailerlite. So this is like perfect timing for us. So for the new people, can you tell us some of your favorite features with Mailerlite?
Well, my favorite features would be, I really enjoy, I like the landing pages. Not even the features themselves, because a lot of these features you can find in many other email providers, service providers. But the way that we have implemented is is really, really simple. It's so simple that sometimes even I don't, I only see the difference when I start using other people's apps. That's the truth. If I ever do that, then I appreciate how much work, because if I'm so much around it, I use it almost daily. So you start not appreciating it so much. But the thing is that once you start using it, it's so fast and simple that sometimes there's a deadline and I really have to send something out, or I have to really create something on the fly sometimes, 15 minutes before a webinar or something. And I just do it because it's so easy. It's so intuitive.
Can you expand a little or even show us? Because that was one of the questions that somebody privately sent to me. Like, what is the difference between your landing pages or using something on my website? So give us the little tour, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, usually in some of the systems, you may find the landing pages right here in the menu. With us, you need to click Web Forms, and that's where you'll find the landing page feature. And these are just some test landing pages. This is my tutorials account. And to add a landing page, give it first a name, give your web form a name, save and continue. And then here are the landing pages. You have other options like embedded forms, a subscribe button, but the landing pages are here. And you may just choose a group. You may also notice the design differences. We have many talented designers working in Mailerlite. And you can just compare this to other landing page software. And these are just beautiful, in my opinion.
They are beautiful. Can we use the eCourse one as our example?
Yes, there you go. And what I would say about the landing pages, things might go a little slower because we're recording and we're using the software.
Right, I know, and I'm in the boondocks, so.
Yeah, so the difference, personally, the true difference is there is no difference. I mean, depending on the software you use, the way I look at it as a marketer is if you know your software, if you have good software and you know how to do things in WordPress, if you have a plugin you're familiar with and use that, then go ahead and use it. If you don't have additional software plugins, then Mailerlite is a really, really good option, because even if you have plugins, to get a good design sometimes requires skills or a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
In case of Mailerlite, we tried as much as possible for you to be able to just click create landing page and have something you can already work with.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
And in this case, this is a CrossFit course, but we can just very easily change almost everything on this screen. So this is we do this with the edit button here.
Mm-hmm.
And each part of these, every one of these pieces is actually a block that can be moved up or down.
Right.
It can be deleted, and you can add more blocks.
I love how you have the columns set up. Mm-hmm. So maybe for somebody who hasn't seen that yet, it's so easy to use and format and upload your content. I love it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because even when I used to, many years ago, when I was looking for software, sometimes I wanted to be able to do every single thing, but in reality, I didn't actually use those features. So here, it's not. You can't do everything you wish, right? You can't change every single pixel, but you can change the most important things. Like you said, to make it 2 columns, it's just one click away. To make it 1 column, you just click. And you can also change everything you see here in terms of colors. In terms of, let's say you want to change the image here, you can change that logo. I'm not sure if I have a logo here. A lot of my face is here, but let's say instead of a logo you want a face.
Yeah.
For some weird reason, then you can do that.
Right. No. It's personal. It's great to have that, to brand your correspondence with the person who's sending them.
And for example, the image editor, that's something that also can be used. For example, if you want to crop an image, you can just do it on the fly here. You don't have to.
Oh, I've never noticed the ratio aspects before. That's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, this is not going to look good right now, but but let's say you want to make it smaller. This is not something I would do in a newsletter, but I'm just.
I know, example purposes.
Yeah, just as an example that it's possible, or you can just delete it.
Okay. And so after you create it, what happens?
Well, after you create the newsletter, there we go. I'm going to cancel that. You can track changes. This is something you asked about before. You can track the changes here.
Yes.
So let's undo these things we did. Let's say we're happy with this. I just clicked done editing. Now, this requires a little more work. If you want to have a custom domain, you can do that. But you would need to add a bit of code in your hosting account.
Okay.
And then you can have your custom domain here.
Okay.
But if you just want to use this one, it's called, the domain is subscribepage.com, and then do, let's say, fitness course or whatever kind of course.
Yeah, so it could be Eileen's exercise course. You could
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Let's call it that. Here you have all the options for the SEO.
Wow.
For the page title.
Yeah.
For the meta keywords. This is what I like, that you're able to have an image for a Facebook share image.
Yeah.
So you can have a totally different image than the images on your landing page.
Right.
And actually, this is something I really like, because I just hate it when I share someone's page, a blog or whatever, and the image is not up to par. Because I'm sharing this with my readers, right, with my followers, and I want the things that I share to look cool, because then, kind of I look cool, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is really, really good, and this will make the followers or people who are sharing more happy that they can put something beautiful on in their feed for their readers.
Right. It's not cropped in a weird way. And
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And here is the allow search engines to index this page. If you want that, you might not always want that, because if this is just an internal link that you want to share with your subscribers and no one else, then you probably wouldn't want to do this right here. But you have that option to not or to allow search engines to index it, so that Google can find it and other search engines can find it. Then we just press save and continue. Okay. Here the double opt-in is automatically on. Here is the landing page URL that we can copy. I'm just going to go through. Here's the preview of the design. I didn't really change anything because I undid everything. Another thing worth mentioning is, I'm just going to go really quickly back to the design, is the video block.
Oh, okay.
Because you're able to, by just putting in a link, let's put it over. Let's put it on the top, just as an example to show you how. Yes. So here's the video block, and if you press this button here, You can choose a source of your video. At this point, we can choose 3 video sources: YouTube video, Vimeo, and Vistia.
Okay.
And basically what this does is it takes a video that from this URL and creates an animated GIF with a play button. I
used that feature on an email that I sent out last week.
Yeah.
I don't know if the readers liked it, but it brought me a ton of joy. So thank you.
Yeah, we've been playing around with it, and it seems you can do A/B split tests. If we have time today, I can also show you that and compare. It's very, very interesting to see and be able to track how many people open which emails, whether they open the text emails or the emails with video, and then see who the people, which people actually clicked through.
Yeah, I don't know if we are there yet, but the reporting that you guys have is really, really spectacular. I don't want to take away from this part, but you guys do a great job with that.
So I don't want to go on YouTube now, but I should have had actually a link prepared. I'm sorry about
that. That's okay.
Because I just don't want to get distracted with all the videos that are on YouTube now. But basically, it will create. The cool thing is you can create a video, a GIF from a video on YouTube, and if for some reason you don't want it to forward to the YouTube page, because that's what it will automatically do, and instead, if you want this video, this GIF, to forward to a landing page you have, or a WordPress page you have built with the video embedded on that page, then you can just put the link here, and that's what it will do.
So how does it know? So the source is YouTube. Where do you put in the video or the GIF?
Okay, let's actually do this. Here's the link we want.
Right.
We just put in the link here.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be different depending on the landing pages you use, the sizes of this video. Some of these things you won't be able to change. At this point, you can change the spacing. Okay. So this is not going to look good in this landing page with the video on top. If you put it, let's see if this works. If we put a little video here,
right,
then it's going to be okay. Oh, sorry, this is not. I made a little mistake here. What I said was not right. It's not going to create a GIF. It's going to actually embed the video. Because if we send emails, if we use this block in the emails, it's going to create a GIF, because no email clients, well, maybe Gmail allows embedding videos into the email itself. Mm-hmm. I think Gmail is just playing with that a little now, but it's still not a common thing. So in emails, it creates a GIF, but in this case, it creates the video inside the...
Oh, because it's a landing page.
Exactly, because it's a landing page, and that's what we want.
Gotcha. Of course. All right, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and of course, if we want, we can also just create an image, a GIF ourselves, and then we just do that ourselves. But this is not going to do what I was talking about. So sorry for the confusion.
But that's okay. So people know when you're creating an email, you can use that video block, and that will create the GIF. And for us in our landing page right now, which actually you actually want the video on a landing page, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm noticing, which I didn't know about before, the success page. Should we talk about that, or do we have?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the success page is just after the user clicks thank you. So that's thank you, right?
Right. So if you wanted to have like a free download or a coupon, or just thank you very much, here's my top 5 blog posts, or
exactly,
anything.
Exactly. That's actually a great idea. Here's my top 5 blog posts, or just a link in your just a link to a PDF file if that's what you're promising after the sign up. And the way this works is I'm just going to go ahead and click done.
Sorry about my dog. He's
No problem.
something fun is happening.
So there you go. You put in your email, your name. You can change, of course, the order of that. And here's the thank you page.
Oh, great. Oh,
And here's the PDF or whatever we decide to have here.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
join our webinar, watch, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But I think that the thank you page is a missed opportunity because it could also be a hook, sign up and get this content. And it's just a nice little way to close the loop on a piece of communication with clients. So I highly suggest the success or the thank you page.
yeah. And the user knows what's going on also, that the email that the sign up went through.
Right. That's
Okay. Here are the stats, of course, just really quickly. Here you can change your, I'm not going to go through this. I'm just going to go really quickly through this because this is sometimes, so people don't see this. Here are the domains that are being used. You can delete them if needed. The confirmation email, if you have double opt-in, this is what your user will get. And you can also put the PDF here if you want, or you can put it in the confirmation thank you page, which pops up after the user presses the confirmation button here.
great.
And the confirmation page, because this is something our clients ask about, you can edit it here. So and put your PDF here if needed, or here's the place for your own landing page. If you already have your own landing page on WordPress with a PDF or with a sales page or whatever, then this is where you can also put that.
I love how linear this is for the user. It's very easy to find and go through the steps and design everything. It's great.
Happy you like it.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go through the A/B testing.
Thank you.
Now you have many options here. You can just press create campaign, or you can go right away to building a regular campaign, an A/B split campaign, or an auto resend campaign. Let's do it the slower way. Here are the choices again. And for A/B split campaign, you can only choose, because that's what you should do in an A/B test. You should only change one thing at a time. And here you have the option of choosing the email subject line. So you have email A, let's say, are you coming to Vegas, let's say, right? For some workshop or whatever. Or are you ready for casino nights? I don't know why I'm talking about Vegas and casino nights, but
It's great.
So, but this is a good example, right? If there's something going on, if there's a conference in Vegas, and you want to try these two subject lines, and
if we're just making this up as we go along, but
exactly.
Are you coming to Vegas? And then the other one could be, will you be at the conference?
Yeah.
So is the conference interesting to people, or is the chance to be in Vegas more appealing? Because you don't know.
Right. Yes. So here they will know that you're in the. Of course, it will depend on if this will be the first email or not.
Right. There's a lot of variables.
Right. And that's and I think that's an important thing to take into account, even when you read different companies give out different data about what's best to do, what's the better way to go, whether your subject line should be a question, should it be just a statement. In the end, it's all about your users, your readers, and how they respond and what they respond to. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of variables. But instead of the subject lines, you can also test the from name. So in this case, the subject line stays the same, because that's what, that's what I said just a moment ago, that you should only be testing one thing at a time. And then you can, who is it from? Well, let's say it's Marcin from Mailerlite instead of Mailerlite tutorials, right?
Right.
And then I can even use a different email if I wish, but I'm going to use the same one here. And this is what they will see in the from field. Or you can change the whole content itself. In this case, let's say, are you coming to the conference? Click next to change your content. Many beautiful templates, as you probably already know, to choose from. And do we have a party template here? Okay, let's just use any template here. Or it can be also a text, right? So let's compare, for example, a beautiful template. And let's say, of course, we need to add the relevant data here. Now we're not going to do this because this is just an example. And then you can select how to create version B of the campaign, of the email. So you can start from scratch or copy from version A. So in this case, it would copy the same template and I can just change the content. But, let's start from scratch. And in this case, you can go like ultra low key, like just use the rich text editor and see how people will respond to an ultra personal letter, right? In which case you can say, hey, how are you doing, etc., right? And then and then write whatever you want. And then once you press done editing, you choose your subscribers. And this is the magical little slider. In this case, I have only 200 or so subscribers. And this is a good way to leave it 25% and 25%. So what will happen now is 25%, 58 of the subscribers will get the email, with the template email. Another 58 will get the email with from the rich text editor. And depending on how many people open or click, this is what you choose. Do you want to test by clicks or opens? I like clicks.
Okay.
And then, of course, I need to have a link in those emails, right, to click. And then if I give it a time, let's say I want to try it. Let's do, okay, I have some plugin here that's giving me some trouble here. That's why that's why all of these problems are popping up here. But let's just do one day in this case.
Yeah.
And what happens is
Can I just jump in with a little clarifier or question?
Yeah.
So if we're setting it for one day, that means we have emailed 58 or 25% of our audience email A, the other 25% email B, and after one day, the remaining 117 or 50% will get whatever one.
Exactly.
So if you want to use this feature, then instead of setting, and it's like, join my webinar right now, set it for an hour, not a day. Or so,
Yes.
What I mean? Like, yeah. So
For sure, I would set it for. I really don't. Yeah, there. I would set it for like 3 hours probably.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So just so people know, like, where are the rest of my emails? Well, they might not all go out until the next day. So
Exactly.
Great. That's cool.
Then it's review and confirm. So this is how it will look. This is the review and confirm. This is email A. This is email B, the recipients. Split test after sending the test segments. This is segment A. This is segment B. The remaining 50% will get the best version, the best performing version. So, and this will be after 8 hours. And then next you can schedule this. So send now or send later. Let's do later. Let's do this tomorrow. And this will be in the outbox until tomorrow.
Great.
And once it's sent, you'll see it in the sent. And if the 8 hours hasn't gone by yet, you'll be able to click it and just see how it's performing. And within those 8 hours, depending on how many people click which version, like we already said, the rest of the subscribers will get that winning version.
That is awesome. So I think this leads me into another question that I had, which I'm curious about. I'm curious about the feature that allows you to follow up if they didn't answer the first email.
Right.
And part of me, when I first read it, was like, oh, is that a little creepy? But the bigger picture is it's really awesome because you've created this email and you want to get as much mileage out of it as you can. And I know for me, if I miss an email that had a great offer in it, I'm like disappointed.
Yes.
So I guess it's not creepy. It's helpful, but can you share a little bit about how that one works with people?
Yeah, so you might feel it's creepy because you're getting another email saying, hey, if you think of it that way, saying, hey, I saw you didn't open the last email, did you see this or that? That does sound kind of creepy, but this kind of works like a regular, basically a simplified autoresponder, right? Because that's what autoresponders do, automation does. Is that if someone doesn't get email, you can set up automation that says if someone doesn't open this email, he will get another one. It's just they don't see that. So in this case, you can basically not even say anything. You can just send the same email again with another subject line. And this is what this first option does. So basically, if the client doesn't open the email or doesn't click a link, I specify that later, then he will just get another email. He will get the same email, but let's say the first email will say, okay, let's do this really offer, right? I would never do this, but let's just say this is the offer. And then I'm going to say, I have something for you. And that will also be the offer, like a super, super good offer. So basically, in this case, the person will get email 1, which is called offer, with the subject line offer. And if he doesn't open it, he will get another email with just another subject line. It's the same email with another subject line. So in this case, there's nothing creepy about it because he's just getting. If he doesn't open the first one, he's not even going to notice that it's the same email. Right.
Fair. Good.
So, and even if he does, it's not a problem. It's because if the offer is really good, then like you said, the person will be happy that he saw the email.
Right.
Now the second part is the subject and personal message. So in this case, the same thing happens. The second email has another subject. I can change it into the same subject if I want. And then if I pressed next, I can choose my email. Let's just use the recent emails. Just going to select this one. This is something I also like, that you can easily choose from your recent emails.
I didn't notice that feature before. That's great.
And this is the personal message. Hey, let's say I just wanted to make you didn't miss this, right?
Right.
Marcin. Love Marcin. or whatever, right?
Exactly.
And let's do it like this. I like to. There we go. Done editing. So that's the personal message. And choose the subscribers. Then we want to, say we want to choose whether it's based on whether the person opened it or clicked, or whether he clicked or didn't click.
Okay.
Now, clicking is always more safe, right? Because then we're sure. Because some people, if they don't load their images, this is just good to know, it won't always show as read. But when someone clicks it, we're sure that they opened the email and they clicked
Okay.
review and confirm. And there we go. So this is the first email, I chose from the recent emails. And here's the email with the message. We can preview it. This is how it's going to look. Hey, I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss this. Love, Marcin.
Right.
So that's...
I think for sometimes, for me, I'm not going to put everybody in my bucket. Sometimes I write a blog post and I'm so spent on the energy it took to put the post together that I don't always spend as much time on the email communication piece. And I'm feeling like that's a real missed opportunity. And I'm thinking that I should no longer use the RSS sort of set it and forget it option. I should be testing out some of these features to see what works best. What do you think? Are you a fan of the RSS delivery, or do you customize and test and play, with the different options?
Yeah, I don't use the RSS feature personally, but I saw it the way I like as a reader of newsletters is the way I like when people use it is if they have, for example, if it's a weekly newsletter, if it comes out every week, and you're actually writing articles, three articles a week. Then I like getting that because then it's just it's like a short version of the week, right? I'm not getting
a sometimes digest or
yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little digest instead of with some companies when I subscribe to their emails, I like getting them right away. But with others, I don't. They write so much, and the content, even though it's good, it's just too much for me. And in those cases, I prefer to, get an email once a week or even once a month. So it really, the answer is always, it depends, right?
Well, you know what? It does depend. And I think that being nimble or flexible or open to change is a real key to success and longevity in dealing with your clients.
Yeah. What I'm a fan of is giving an option, right? So just testing whether some subscribers would prefer to get a digest email, and if they do, just give them that option. And if others just prefer to getting the daily emails or the weekly emails, then allow them to do that.
So let me ask you: is there sort of just for email newsletters, correspondence, like for the whole category, not Mailerlite exclusive, are there some guidelines like longer is better, short and sweet, use images, don't use images? Is there any data or backup that you want to share with us or that you know?
Yes, I'd like to share something with you.
Please.
I've been working with marketers for many years, with some copywriters, and I've researched this a lot. And the truth is that it doesn't matter if it's longer or shorter. That's the truth, because there are people who are having amazing results with daily emails. There are people who swear by, once a week. And the only thing it has to be is it has to be interesting, right? Or at least if it's not informative, it should be informative and entertaining. Some people say, like infotainment even, right? This is something some people use, especially the people who email like once a day. It has to be interesting. So that's it. If you, the way I see it, the way I view it is, if you think your user needs to read an email every day, and that will allow them, to get what they need from your emails, then do it. If you think your user shouldn't do that, shouldn't read your emails every day, shouldn't read it once a week, but only once a month, then do that. There are people. I'm subscribed to. I'm not currently subscribed to any daily emails, because that's just not my thing as a reader. But I am, for example, subscribed to a newsletter that comes out about even once every month or every 2 months. And it's a long newsletter, and it has a lot of knowledge. The guy is teaching a lot of things, and that's also good. So I think the main point here is paying more attention to the whole strategy you're trying to use, instead of just the tactics. Pay more attention to how I can help people, instead of how I can kind of get more clients. I know it may sound kind of like cheesy or something, but that's I forget about that, right? Because I constantly have to remind myself about that, and every time I do that, things change. Things become so much easier. I'm supposed to give a speech, and I'm worried because a live speech, right? Because how will I remember everything I have to say? Well, is that really important? If I remember it, it's not really important. It's just because I want to save face. That's why I'm thinking about that. But if I forget about that, I'm saying, hey, there's a full room of people here, and I have a lot of knowledge I can share with them. I can really help them out. Then I stop thinking about being scared. I stop thinking about, will people be happy with me? I just start thinking, whether they'll learn something. And I think that's how it is. We tend to, unfortunately, especially solopreneurs or people working alone, they have a tendency of trying to find the shortcuts because there's just so many things we, have to do.
Right.
So, and that's another thing I would like to mention. When you are reading about the 10 amazing methods of sending awesome newsletters, or the best times when to send the newsletters, or daily newsletters, or whatever, you have to look at it from the right perspective and the context, and who is saying this. There's a lot of marketing gurus that are wonderful, what they say, what they teach, etc. But the reader is not always aware of how many people are standing behind that person, the team. Sometimes, like in our case, in Mailerlite, you can see the team, right? But in some cases, you don't see the team. You just see one person who's doing all these amazing, cool things with all this automation triggers, cool headlines with awesome results, right? And we try to do that as a one-man band, and for some reason it doesn't work out. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't always work out, but it's just really, really hard to do some of these things. I think it's much, much easier in the long run to kind of learn more about strategy and more about what we're teaching, how we're teaching it, and making it I like to say teachable. So if we're writing an email, make it connected to your values, your direction, your strategy. How is that one simple email gonna bring your reader a step closer to what he wants to achieve in terms of the big picture, not in terms of just a cool thing to read? Because we have a lot of, every year there are more companies, there are more newsletters, there are more cool things to read about. And it's already happening, and it's going to happen more and more, that it's not going to be about how much emails you're sending, or how cool the emails are, or how wonderful they make you feel. Because after years of reading awesome emails, listening to awesome shows that make you all happy inside, you're going to notice that, it's not moving you forward. And you're going to start paying attention to the things that are actually making you move forward in the direction you want to move. So I know it's a little off topic, but it's not.
No, it's not at all.
What I'm saying, because that's what I feel is important.
It is important. And if you have something to say, take your time, say it nicely or thoughtfully. And if you don't have anything to say, that's okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Get ready. Just if you don't have anything to say now, but you don't, sometimes it's not that we don't have anything to say. And this is another point. It's just we're not able to verbalize it in a way that's easily digestible by the person who's reading it. So, put a little more thought and energy into structuring what you have in your mind in a way that someone who takes this knowledge can easily tell someone else. So the person so it's teachable, right? So the person who hears it can say, hey, I work with this company, and what I like about them is A, B, C, right? And I like these three things about them because it helps me out in this way, in A, B, C way, right? So this is a topic probably for a longer a longer video, but basically that's kind of the essence of what I feel is important, especially because when you hear a wonderful new method and then everyone's using it and then it's not wonderful, cool anymore. I like what Warren Buffett says about computers. He used to never use computers from what I remember reading about him. Bill Gates made him use it because he showed him that he can play bridge on computers. But before, he used to say something about, this is what I remember, that let's say there's a parade and there are people who are looking at the parade and there are a lot of people who want to see it, but they're in the back. So what they do is they stand on their tippy toes and they're standing and then they're looking at the parade. But then the people in front of them, they start standing on their tippy toes too. and then what happens is everyone is standing on their tippy toes. Nothing changed, but everyone has to put more effort into just standing on their tippy toes. So this is sometimes what happens is, let's say Monday, 8 a.m. is the best hour to send newsletters. And everyone puts a lot of effort in sending the emails on this. In the beginning, it works for the first people who are doing it. But then once everyone is doing it, you become irrelevant. Again, it's just, so sometimes you just need to pave your own way, put some energy, some heart, some thought into when you want to send your emails. And don't be afraid of sending the emails in a time that might not seem right from the logical marketing, super cool, whatever perspective. Because if your emails are going to be good, then people are going to be waiting for them and they will be reading them.
That's totally true. Absolutely. I know I have some that I can't wait to see in my inbox. And others that have been on the list for a long time and I don't even open anymore. But I love this, and my audience is going to love it because, we're always trying to learn and for our own businesses and for our clients. So I appreciate us spending some time on the sort of bigger picture of email or newsletter correspondence. I have one last question that I want to ask you that came from the audience, and that is, at some time, do you think that Mailerlite will integrate the e-commerce piece of reporting, like how products you've sold or any type of reporting on an integration with a financial piece?
Yeah, we're working on it. Unfortunately, I can't promise anything because the developers would.
I get that. We all get that. Totally fair. Okay, so it's on your radar.
Yeah, it's on our radar, and we want to do it really well. That's another thing. It's not tags. Tags were supposed to come out, a month ago, from what I remember. And the only reason they're not out is that we found a way of making it even more better, even more cooler. And to do that, there's a lot more programming to do, but it's going to be wonderful. So, in Mailerlite, if it's possible sometimes to do a quick, have a quick win and create a feature that will be used, we do it. But sometimes if we see that we're able to, make something amazing, we prefer to, to do that, to use a little more time. It's not going to be a lot more time, but it's going to be amazing. And that's the same thing with e-commerce. It's not a question of will we do it? We need to do it. It's just a question of when will it be there. And I think if you follow us, our newsletters, we will let you know. Everyone is waiting for it. I'm waiting for it because I also want to tell our clients, hey, it's there. If they ask, yes, it's there. I don't like saying no, we don't have it yet.
Right. I totally get that. Okay. I know that you're traveling to New York, so thank you for putting me into your schedule today. And it was great meeting you. And I'm a big fan. I think that you guys have so much to offer, and I really appreciate it. And if people aren't collecting emails and they don't have a list, then there's no excuse, because you can sign up for Mailerlite for free. So
exactly.
The barrier to entry is nothing. And you've got so many awesome features. So I really thank you for your time and your expertise. And people jump in and follow you guys and the workcation on Twitter, right?
Yes. Yes. So thank you very much. I also appreciate you giving your time here and doing this.
Okay. Safe journey, and we'll be in touch again.
Thank you. Wonderful. Have a great day.
You also. Thank you.